Hey guys, it's Katie. Today I wanted to just share a really quick recipe as we go into the holiday season, starting with Hanukkah this week, going all the way through New Year's. I imagine people will be looking for special ways to kind of celebrate their families or, have visitors or be traveling. And this is a really easy thing you can make for breakfast that is really impressive. We like to make it for guests. We like to make it for special occasions. I filmed this back in October when I made it for Mike's birthday. But it is a tradition in his family to make it on Christmas morning. So what this is a type of puff pancake called a Dutch baby or a German pancake. As an aside, I think I've mentioned on my channel before, and I've had both Dutch and German people pipe up and say, I've never heard of that, like that's not Dutch, that's not German. I did a little bit of research and it seems like it is something attributed to the Amish, which are, German immigrants that people called Pennsylvania Dutch. So I think that's sort of the confusion, but it does seem to be pretty much an American thing. Super simple, like I said, really impressive. It could probably even be a dessert. So Mike's family did have a recipe that they traditionally used. His dad always makes this for Christmas morning, like I said, when when the kids were growing up and everything. But one time I didn't have that recipe and I used one I found from Real Simple magazine, and actually everybody liked that version better. So this is the version that I'm sharing. I will link to the full recipe. But I'll walk you through it right here. Marie from Bits and Clips filmed a similar video back in the fall, like around the time that I was filming mine as well. And her version is a little bit different, the recipe's a little bit different, and it has apples. So if you want to try, a little bit different spin on it, go check out her video. I'll link to it. Enjoy and happy holidays. First step is to preheat your oven to 400. While that is going, I've got my butter, 2 tablespoons of butter, portioned out into my oven-safe pan. We always use cast iron. You can use any oven-safe pan if you like, Calphalon or something else. Definitely don't use anything with a plastic handle. If you don't have an oven-safe pan like this, you can use a different type of baking dish. We've used like small casserole dishes and stuff. It will work. You might get a little bit different effect, a little less puffiness or a little bit thinner or something like that, but it'll work. Very simple ingredients: flour, eggs, milk, salt, and vanilla. This is not one of those recipes where if you overmix things, they won't turn out right. You actually want everything to be whisked very, very smooth, so you'll just whisk to your heart's content, starting with the eggs alone. Alright, my eggs are all whisked. I whisk in my flour now. Here it is with the flour, and now I just add all the rest of the ingredients. So you just whisk away, getting rid of any lumps. You really can't overdo it. You see how thin it gets. The recipe calls for kosher salt. I always use sea salt and that works fine. I think people will probably ask if you can use non-dairy milk. I have not tried that. My guess would actually be for this recipe no, because you want there to be like a certain reaction between the eggs and the milk and the flour and everything to make the pancake rise. But if you try with a non-dairy milk and it works, please leave a comment letting us all know that. Alright, my batter's ready, my oven is preheated. I'm going to stick my pan with the butter in the oven for just like a minute or two, just so that the butter melts. You really want to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. So like I said, try a minute and see how that works. And then you'll just spread the butter sort of around so it coats the whole bottom of the pan, up the sides a little bit. Into my hot buttered pan goes the batter all at once. And then we're going to put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes or until the magic happens. While that's baking, let's talk toppings. So I think the traditional topping is fresh lemon juice and a little bit of powdered sugar, and that is a wonderful combination. We also do like it topped with jam, strawberry or apricot being favorites here. If you have like a thicker jam, like this one is a pretty thick kind of jam, I will thin it out on the stovetop. I'll just put a little bit in a saucepan, cut it with a little bit of water, and heating it up thins it out, so then it makes it a little bit more drizzleable. This is a homemade apricot from my sister, which you can tell is more runny, which will be perfect. Just kind of drizzle over the top. You can definitely use maple syrup if you'd like. Alright, ready for the big reveal? Ta-da! There is our puff pancake. I gave mine about an extra 5 minutes just so it would get a little bit golden on top. It's going to depend on your oven. And we just cut it into wedges from here and serve it right away. It'll get deflated a little bit as it cools and as you cut it up, but that's all right. The flavor is like just a little subtly sweet, sort of like a crepe. Enjoy your special breakfast.
Special pancake?
Yeah.